Hey YouTube, DPal3543 here. Uh, uh, First off, sorry for not recording yesterday. There was an internet outage in my area, so there's not like much that I could uh, do as far as recording goes and whatnot. Um, I'm really tired today. I wasn't planning on making a video today. Um, but I felt like I should just talk about today has been very shocking. Um, if you haven't heard, Charlie Kirk has been assassinated. Uh, I try to, as you know, I try to keep out of politics on this channel because I want this channel to be entertaining. I do have a political channel that I recently started called Just the Facts. I do want to get more involved with that, and I intend to. I might make a video over there on this at some point. It's just trying to find good topics, to discuss and whatnot. I also just need to find the energy for it. But Charlie Kirk was assassinated today. He was doing an event out at Utah. I saw the footage. He was sniped in the neck by a rifle. With a rifle by a man who was in a building across the way. Based on the map that I saw that was provided by Washington Post or CNN, I don't remember which one it was. The basketball field was like up in this corner, and the building was shot from was over in this corner, and it's shocking. It's absolutely shocking to me. I didn't know him personally. I've never met him. I've never been to one of his events, but I admired him. He did a lot of good. Uh, he did a lot of work pushing for the American dream. He was practicing the American system. America was created. The idea of America is that anyone and everyone can go out and discuss different ideas and talk about together how we can make this country better. He was never angry with anybody. He never incited violence. He was never hateful towards anybody. As I understand it, he was a great guy. I would watch his clips, and I would, because I like listening to people debate. I like listening to debates, especially. I mean, a lot of the debates he got in I found quite frustrating, not because of him. It was because of the some of the people he would talk with, because sometimes he would get a good person, someone great would go up there, and even if they disagreed, they'd have a civil conversation, everything would be fine. And sometimes you'd have someone who was just like very angry with at him. Where did this come from? I didn't order elbows. What the? Okay, I'll just put that there for now, I guess. Anyway. um But he was a great guy. I consider him to be an American hero because he was really pushing the American foundation. The whole he wanted people to think for themselves. He went out to talk to people, to debate people, and to encourage people to expand their horizons, to do their own research, to learn more than just what their teachers told them. Just like actually, do your research, think for yourself, fact check the things you're told. Don't just listen to the news, say, oh hey, X, Y, and Z, and then believe X, Y, and Z just because the news said so. You gotta think for yourself. Fact check the news always, because the news is the news. If you study history, I've been studying history as a hobby for like 20 some odd years now. I love history. I do. I got a history book like right up here. I'll show you. Here, I picked this up from the Smithsonian a few months ago just because I love history so much. And I even fact checked this still. Uh, um, but that was his whole thing. You know, pushing, encouraging people to to study, to learn, and and even when they disagreed with him, even though they would yell at him, call him racist, fascist, white supremacist, all these horrible things, which I could get into a lot about who's really responsible for all that stuff. But that's not for this channel. And it's hard, because he's genuinely an American hero. He built this. He's influenced so many people. He built this great company. Whether or not you're Republican, Democrat, something in the middle, I think we can all agree that he was a pretty good guy. And there are people out there that are celebrating his assassination. That's absolutely disgusting. That is absolutely horrible. And if you're one of the people who are celebrating his death, shame on you. Honestly, shame on you. It doesn't matter if you disagree with him or not. He didn't deserve to die. He didn't deserve to be murdered by some deranged person. And it was most likely politically motivated. And honestly, with how this year's been going, I wouldn't surprise me if Tim Walz was somehow behind it. But I'm not going to throw accusations out at this time. It's a time for mourning. It's grieving. And it makes me sad that we lost such an amazing person. Because nobody should have. It made me sad when, with all the assassinations that happened this year, we've seen we've seen actual members of state governments being assassinated, someone attempting to assassinate them for political motivations that were politically motivated. Had Where is that? Is that you? Is that on 1587? Where do I have that? It says that went up. Where do I have you? What are you? Sushi small. Oh, it's sushi. Oh, okay. I'm looking at it like it's a hot dog. So I'm looking. It's like, oh, hot dogs. Wait, where do I have hot dogs? I don't have hot dogs. Also, as you can see, the store has grown. I've organized it a little more, I guess. I don't know if you say this is organized. It's organized. Yeah, I also got music in here now. Seems a little inappropriate to be playing that, but boop 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 boop. Also, what do you guys think of the store? You like the layout? Think I could do better? Don't worry, it's going to grow. I'm going to grow it. But anyway, yeah, no, it's horrible what happened, and I mostly wanted to make this video because we talk about how it looks to me. If you haven't figured out already, I'm an active duty service member. Now, just so you know, my political ideologies, my beliefs and whatnot aren't associated with the core at all. They're my own beliefs that I've developed over years of research, studying politics, researching and paying attention to what's going on in both the country and the world. Mostly the country, though, because I'm not too concerned about what's going on outside of America. But 50, 60, 1, 2, 3. There you go. Part of our oath that service members swear is to uphold and defend the Constitution. And Charlie Kirk's only crime was to, practice his First Amendment right. And he was murdered for it. He was murdered for having a different belief than the left. He was murdered for challenging those beliefs, for welcoming people to have an open discussion and challenging their beliefs, which is what America is all about. That's the whole foundation of America. We should challenge each other on our beliefs. We should question each other and have open conversations with each other and learn from each other, Because true progress can only be made if we are free to openly talk and disagree with each other and work together. Which, neither side is perfect. The right has their own evil people. The left has their own evil people. It's just the left are more loud about it. Lyndon B. Johnson, he was a Republican. I consider him to be a very corrupt individual. He did some bad things. George Bush, I was debatably corrupt. I don't know much about his presidency. I haven't looked into him all that much yet. It's too recent history for my taste, but I guess it's been 20 some odd years now, so I guess that counts. I'll get to that when I get to that, though. I'm reading a lot of books. I'm also reading this book here, Confronting the Presidents. It's a very good book. There's a lot of... It just looks at what was going on during every president's presidency, what they had going on in their personal lives and whatnot. It's amazing how many presidents actually suffered from depression. I've gone through like 4 or 5 now. And I'm on FDR. 50, 60, 1, 2. But but as a service member, to see someone practicing their First Amendment rights, and I loved that. I loved what Charlie was doing. I fully supported him, because he was practicing his First Amendment rights, and he was encouraging other people to also practice theirs, to challenge his beliefs, while he also challenged theirs. Just public, open, friendly, civilized discussion. That was his aim. That was his goal. And it's a beautiful thing to see when it works out. And it pains me, as someone who swore an oath to protect that right, as well as all of our other rights, to see someone get murdered for practicing one of the rights that I swore an oath to protect and defend. And so it makes me very sad. It hurts. Even though I don't know the guy, I actually kind of teared up a bit finding out about what happened. And I'm very sympathetic. I'm a dad. I'm a family man. To have him taken from his 2 children like that, his babies, and his wife. And I know someone in the comments probably be like, I was probably going to bring up the fact, like, oh, you joined the military, I know that I signed up to sacrifice that. I know I signed up to make that sacrifice. Wait, Charlie didn't. He's a brave man. I respect him more. Well, okay, I guess that's bad to say, but I highly respect him because he knew the risks of what he was doing, especially with the increase in political violence in the country. He knew that it was a risk, and he did it anyway. And by my book, that makes him a hero. He's an American hero. It's been a while since we had one of those. Oh, Jesus, lady. Oh, I got a mobile order? Oh, all the taters. All the potatoes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, another one. Butter. Let's see, we got 1, 2 butter. Chibi cereal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Close Leo Finn. Can I take care of you real quick? I can. Cool. P for what? Decline. Oh, Jesus. 43.98. But my thoughts are with his family, and I'm sorry that they had to lose their husband and father. Nobody should have to do that. But yeah, like I was saying, yes, I know that the sacrifice that I signed up to make. And I'm wholeheartedly willing to make that sacrifice. It still makes me sad that if it comes down to it, I will have to. And I'm not afraid to, but it's also very surreal once you get through your training and then you just have this instinct to immediately run towards the danger. Or at least I do, from my experience. And I almost have back during Christmas break. There's a story for another time. If anybody cares to hear that, you can let me know down in the comments below. But it's a very dark day in American history. Whether you liked him or not, security just got somebody. Hell yeah, bro. Yeah, I'll be there. 2, 3, 4. Yes, honeybees. 1, 2, 3. Green tea. 1, 2, 3. Kayla Jones. See, I'm kind of just rambling here at this point, but and I can't imagine how. Well, I also think it might be because I'm a service member that I'm extra, angry and grieved about this, because this is a fellow American. I'm a patriot. He was a patriot. I love this country. I love the people in this country. I love. Yeah, I don't agree with the left. I don't like the left, but they're still American citizens. As the saying goes, I don't agree with you, but I will agree with what you have to say, but I will defend with my life your right to say it. And I'm watching Tim Pool. I was just scrolling through because I watch a lot of people from liberal hive mind to Tim Pool and whatnot, and I watch a lot. It's one of the ways I stay informed because I trust influencers a lot more than I trust mainstream media. But I still look at the mainstream media, and then I fact check them, and then I also like to hear other people's point of view. So I do watch a lot of influencers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Leah Bailey. I also like watching them react to news stories. I like watching them debate other influencers. I like being involved. I like watching the debates and whatnot. And I'd love to meet some of these people and have conversations with them. It'd be cool. That's the great thing about America, right? But it is sad. I know none of the people connected to Charlie will probably ever see this. I'm just a small town creator, and that's fine by me. I'm not here to make a name for myself. I'm here to just have a good time, build a community, be a place where people can feel welcome. And let me make sure there's no customers here, because I like to shut down. I don't know why. It's just habit, but I like to close all of the registers at the end of the day. Yeah, there was one time when I did, and I closed all the registers, and this customer comes up to this first register right here, and it's like, oh, it's closed, and then starts walking away. I'm like, oh, I didn't know you were still here. I didn't even know you were in here. Hold on. And I reopened the register. It happens, Nobody's perfect. Even I make mistakes sometimes. Um, Management. Bills. Hey, you want to see something crazy? Look how expensive it is to get the next section of the store to grow my store more. Storage is cheaper for now. And then think about... Yeah, once I get to section 12, it's ridiculous. But just section 8 is $11,000. That's crazy to me. And, just because I said something, I came out and was like, hey, this is sad, it's bad. There's probably going to be people who come out. If they even find this video, probably not. The extreme leftists will probably not find this video at all, but they might. I don't know. But I can expect there might be some hateful comments that come up on this video at some point. And then, yeah, like I said, I wasn't even planning on making a video today. I couldn't sleep last night all that much because PTSD kicked in. I started having nightmares from, my time with my ex-wife, and everything that went on with that. And it's, you guys, so I just couldn't fall asleep. I'm getting help with that, though. Going to be seeing a therapist soon. So don't worry about me. Don't worry. I'll be fine. Yeah, no, it's a dark day for American history. It's a sad day for the whole country. The political violence is egregious. It needs to end. And yes, I'm all for. There are certain circumstances where violence is necessary. That's why we have the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment's there, so if the government starts doing, so we can protect ourselves from all enemies, foreign and domestic. So if the government starts, messing around in ways that they shouldn't, we can stop them. That's the Second Amendment is the only thing that's keeping us from becoming a police state like the UK or Canada, or like Nazi Germany or Soviet Russia. It's the only thing standing in the way of that. Whether you like it or not. And I've seen some people want to maybe this will be the push that they need to ban guns. No, that just make the matters worse. If you want to see the fact that it makes the matters worse, the UK technically has more mass shootings than we do. Canada has more mass shootings than we do. Canada just recently banned all of their guns, or close to it. Their crime rate skyrocketed. I'm kind of just running off on a tangent, but it's just horrible. Political violence among the people is never a good thing. It's not okay. It should be condemned wholly. And people celebrating it, shame on you. You're part of the problem. You should be ashamed of yourself. You'd be mad if, people celebrated the death of someone you care of someone you liked. I mean, I know there's a lot of people that will probably celebrate the death of Obama or Clinton or Biden. I know there's plenty of people who celebrate the death of Trump, um, and that's sickening, you know. And if we should all come together and grieve, we can get along for a day. We can all get along for a day. Because regardless what your political beliefs are, regardless whether you like the other, whether you like the other side or not, we should all be able to get along and say, this is wrong, this shouldn't have happened, this is horrible. And, I don't like Kamala Harris, but, shout out to her. Mad respect for former Vice President Harris, who publicly condoned the violence, condoned the assassination of Charlie Kirk. She made a post on X condemning it, saying this is bad, this is wrong. And, there's a lot of people, both left and right, that are actively condoning this, and there's a lot of people on the left that are celebrating it. And, I know not all leftists are bad. I've got some friends who are, I don't have a lot of friends that are Democrats, actually, but, I know some people that are, and I have no problem with them at all. As long as, because, they're not all terrible, violent people. It's just there are some extreme people out there. There's certain people online that are making it worse. There are certain people that are inciting the violence, and they need to be stopped. They need to be brought to justice. If anybody who incites violence should be held accountable for it. But I can't really say anything. I know it was most likely politically motivated. Like everybody else, I'll wait. Gotta wait to see what the investigation shows. Well, hopefully he speaks. I saw the footage of the suspect being arrested, and all he had to say was that he was, and I quote, "I have the right to remain silent." And he does. He does have the right to remain silent. He has every right to exercise that right. Even though he's done something absolutely horrible, and I hope they throw the book at him. I don't know much about Utah law. Hopefully he does get the death penalty for that, in my personal belief. An eye for an eye and all that. But no, it's sad. But yeah, regardless of where you stand politically, I hope we should all be able to come together and grieve the loss of a great man, a man who loved his country and wanted to see it made better, wanted to, who encouraged cooperation between both sides, and who wanted to see our country grow and prosper and be exactly what the founding fathers wanted it to be. And that's a dream and a desire that I have. I want our country to be exactly what our founding fathers envisioned it being: a free country where anybody can talk about anything, where you can defend yourself from criminals and foreign invaders and the government if they prove to be dictators. I'll probably get called a Nazi for it. I'll probably be called a fascist for it, even though, and there's a lot I can say about who really are those things as well, but I'm not going to talk about that on this channel. I've kind of been going on long enough about this whole situation. more than I should have, more than I would have cared to. I just want this channel to be entertaining, but at the same time, I can't ignore horrible things happening in our country. Uh, and I might talk about this on my political channel as well, my social commentary channel as well. But this is something that can't be ignored. This is something that's horrible. But it happened. It's sad. I'm sad to see a great patriot be an American citizen killed in this way. I'm sorry to, getting back to what I was saying earlier. I've been watching a Tim Pool live stream. That's what really got me to make this video in the first place. And I've lost a friend to suicide, and that hurts. But to see a friend of yours get murdered, see a video of them get murdered, because I've seen the footage of, I saw the footage of Charlie getting shot. It's not the first time I've seen actual footage of people actually getting killed. I watched a video that ISIS released publicly back in, I think it was like 2015, 2016, somewhere between 2015 and 2017. ISIS released a video where they beheaded Christians. They uploaded that publicly, and I was unfortunate enough to have watched that before it was taken down, because obviously community guidelines and whatnot. So, where was I? Oh yeah. So I've seen that. I also saw a video of an attempted suicide bomber. I think it was in New York. I don't remember what city it was. It was like security footage from a subway station. The guy was going down into the tunnel, and he had a suicide vest on. It exploded prematurely. And it was a premature detonation. He didn't mean to do it. Luckily, there wasn't anybody around that got hurt. It was just the attempted bomber himself that got hurt. I watched the security footage of that, and it just see a puff of smoke, and then the dude's laying on the ground, his legs twitching. It was a very weak bomb, so I don't think it would have done all that much anyway. But then again, I don't know a whole lot about explosives like my dad does. So, maybe if I find it again and sit down and watch it with him, he could tell me what went wrong and if that actually could have hurt anybody. But there was like a few people in the tunnel with him. They kind of, they all ran. Probably heard it, or some saw it and it's like, oh shoot, dipped out, like you should do, right? But I can't imagine seeing someone personally, someone close to you, getting shot, being killed like that. And he didn't die on the scene, so technically his friends didn't see him die, but he was shot in the throat. So if you understand how the body works to some extent, you'd know that he got shot like right around here in the jugular area. And it's a shame, but join me. I hope you'll join me for a moment of silence in honoring a fellow American. And I just received word that President Trump has ordered that all American flags will be held at half-mast for the death of such an amazing person, an amazing American citizen, a true patriot. until Sunday at 1800 or 6 p.m. for those of you who don't understand. So if you'll join me uh, in a moment of silence. All right, thank you so much, everybody. I hope you keep his family in your prayers, or if you're not religious, I hope you keep them in your heart and your mind. Try to imagine what they're probably going through. I can imagine. I haven't been through it, but I can imagine. And honestly, that's like one of my worst fears of being in the military. I'm not scared of dying. I'm not scared of making that ultimate sacrifice. I'm scared of having to be the one that has to go tell a family that their Marine isn't coming home. I'm scared of having to, of if I do deploy, if I do see combat, having to sit there, hold it, see a fellow Marine die, and then think about their family and how much pain they're going to be in and whatnot. Because I know what I've seen loss, I've felt loss, and I don't want that for anybody. But yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Sorry for it being kind of a dark one. It's kind of a Debbie Downer, but it is a horrible, horrible time, horrible day. Um, and I know he'll find he's been welcomed home. I know Jesus was there to welcome him with open arms. He devoted his life to his country and to Jesus and God, and I can't, you know, I respect him very deeply for that, madly for that. But thank you all so much for watching. Again, sorry for this being kind of a down video, but it is a very dark day, and I hope you guys don't hold it against me that I got a little political today. But with everything I've got going on tomorrow or the next few days, I will upload a video tomorrow. I'll upload 2 videos tomorrow, because it'll be the last time I upload anything until at least the 22nd. Yeah, at least the 22nd. If you don't know, I'm going on leave. I'm going out, taking my son to Disney World. I'll be checking out on leave tomorrow afternoon at 16:30 my time zone, and then I'll be flying home on Friday morning, where I'll be picking my son up from school, and then also picking up my best friend, because he's coming with us. I'm kidnapping him. I want to hang out with my best friend just like I want to hang out with my son, so I'm kidnapping him. I'm forcing him on this vacation. Whether he likes it or not, he's coming too. I paid for him. I just told him to bring his own spending money, so if he wants like souvenirs and whatnot, so I can focus more money on my son. Which I think everybody can agree is acceptable. That's understandable. But yeah, it's absolutely insane. But yeah, so Friday and then Sunday morning, we'll be flying down to Florida, uh, checking in, and then just enjoying a week of escaping the world, enjoying a week of just having fun. And I'll tell you guys all about it when I get back. Maybe I'll do like a live stream playing some more Supermarket Simulator here, because that game keeps me awake. Um, just talking about the week and all the fun we'll have and whatnot. But thank you all so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will see you all tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Bye.